In a world of dungeons, dragons, and devious DMs, 4 adventurers set out to save the mysterious land of Blaelflow.
I'm Frank Bunty, Dwarven Paladin and all-round badass. I like nothing more than righting wrongs and smiting evil.
I'm Bonarail, a half-elf rogue that'll rob you blind and mess you up.
I'm Lord Sugar, a human wizard noble. I'm rich, I'm better than everyone, and I set fire to everything.
I'm Draco Justice, Dragonborn Monk. For when justice calls, who will answer? I will. I'm Draco Justice.
And I'm Doddy, the resident DM. I'll be throwing everything at these guys, including the kitchen sink. Ooh, a mimic kitchen sink.
Nerd OD&D from the Nod Network. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else you get podcasts.
To be fair, we do have to have tick boxes when we post our ones to be like, is there mature, sensitive topics? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and the annoying thing is there isn't just a box that you can tick to say always. Yeah. Don't even ask me. Look, Reg is on this show. There will always be salty language.
Yeah, whoops.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Nerd OD Podcasts with Dan
and Reg.
And Reg, are you excited?
I'm always excited.
Excited
it's a problem I've got that I've been to the doctor several times about.
Really?
And he's just told me to calm down.
Fair enough. I mean, right. Yeah, that's like what you say to like when you say to a depressed person, just cheer up, will you?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's more complicated than that, Reg. Reg's excitement problem is deep seated. But no, are you excited that there's that we've only got another month and a half of lockdown?
I know, right? It's funny because like obviously last year I had my birthday and then we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
So Ash literally couldn't have her birthday. And this year it's my turn for a lockdown birthday. My birthday's in like 2 weeks. And then we've got Ash, who is literally we're allowed to go to a restaurant the day after her birthday, the day before her birthday. So I was like, ooh. So the minute it happened, I emailed upstairs at the Grill, which is like a really, really fancy steakhouse in Chester.
Right.
And was like, I need to get booked in now. Your website won't allow me. I know it's only just come live, but please fucking book me in for the 22nd, which is a Saturday. I was like, we need to be there. So yeah, that was my first like, ooh, this is exciting. Yeah, it's going to be nice. And then I'm wondering how long it'll be until work decides that they'll be like, you know what, guys? You no longer need to work from home ever again.
Or they go, why are we paying for offices?
Yeah, well, we got told, like, quite specifically that there's never a requirement for recruitment to be in the office. And, like, we can use that like, our mini office that we had and, like, the project team and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if we're, like, we got told originally, yeah, you're all working from home, but I don't know. I can see because 5G and stuff has ramped up and I work in telecoms and it has literally been so insane over the past couple of weeks that I can see
we got rid of the Nerd OD offices. We were just like, we just don't need these anymore. We've worked out that Skype works for everything.
That is very true, but we also don't have like 90-odd angry people shouting at each other continuously over Skype and stuff, which would make it a lot easier.
No, it's just 4 angry people
on a Monday,
that's us.
And then on a Wednesday we have 5 of us.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
2 and 5.
Exactly.
It's always a pleasure, never a chore with this.
It's nice to hear.
It is. I can't believe we've been going for 8 years, Mr. Dan.
Yeah, well, that's depressing, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
The thing that I like, the thing that I'm taking away from it is it's proof that we were doing this before podcasting was cool and like everyone could do it. The thing is, everyone could do it back then, but everyone didn't.
Yeah, they're like, what is this fad?
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, I get a lot of adverts on Instagram and whatever for podcasts, for other podcasts, like little ones that are just starting up and whatever, and they've paid to promote an Instagram post. It's like, hey, our episode 2 has just been recorded, and I was like, I remember those days. And you have a look at a lot of these. I'll sometimes click on these Instagram feeds just to see what the competition's doing, and they just, I don't know, they get to like episode 6 or something like that, and then it's like a month with no episode, and then suddenly, oh yeah, we managed to get back together. Here's episode 7, and then you never hear from him again.
Yeah.
Like so many, just they start off and it's this really big, exciting thing, and it just trails off. Yet we, week after week after week, with very little fail, we've done something. We've recorded, and even when we did. I mean, there was like a year gap between, I think, the G.E.E.K podcast when we stopped doing that and the Nerd OD podcast starting up. But, there was valid reasons for that. We were just like, right, let's have a bit of a reset. We've done this for 4 years, was it? Let's just reboot it. And then we paused the Nerd OD podcast, didn't we? And then picked that up again with lockdown. So, but yeah, the only annoying thing is podcasting has absolutely been taken over by celebrities, and I know it probably was, or there was always the big podcasts of the big celebs or whatever that people want to listen to, but now every single comedian and actor and musician and anything like that has got or is planning to do a podcast, and it just doesn't leave any room for the little guys, does it?
True that. We always have our little corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care that we're not up there in the charts anymore. I'm just quite happy that we've got a good following of people who want to listen. It's nice.
And that's it. So thanking you for staying with us. And
yes, thanks you too.
Think that this is all it's going to be. Whoa, mark our words. There is more on the horizon.
Is there? Why? What have you got planned?
I've got several different things planned.
Have you actually?
I might.
Okay.
I might have quite a few things I've got planned as to appear on things that other people are doing. But
okay. So there you go. So things that other people are doing, which they'll only record like 5 or 6 episodes, and then they'll just give up.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. I know, but if you are listening out there and you want to start a podcast, come join us. Come give us a shout, and we will tell you exactly how to do it for very, very, very little money and have it sound actually really good.
And we're in it for the long haul, so it's not like 5 or 6 episodes down. We'll make sure that you stay with us forever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at Doddy. Doddy, our dungeon master. He's proper giving it a go. We've had a few different sort of groups of people come on board, and some of them have, done stuff for a bit and then disappeared. But you can always there's a certain type of person that just wants to succeed, and we now have 5 of us who are like that.
That is very, very true. And his Twitch stream and stuff is going really strong. So
yeah, apparently. Not that I watch any of it. I just don't do Twitch. But yeah.
No, I've got my because I do Amazon Prime. I get the you're allowed 1 sub a month. So I'm just have my sub. So I never go on Twitch, but I'm like, what? It's just nice to help out the crew.
Yeah. Oh, I can do that as well. Then I didn't realize. I don't know what a sub means. The sub means he gets money.
I think if he gets a certain amount, but he also gets extra privileges if he hits a certain amount of subs. He unlocks more content he can do and other little tidbits. So it's just nice that you can do it.
Nice.
And I'm part of the help.
Oh, if you're not part of the problem, you're a part of the solution. I'm sure it's the other way around, but that sounds far more positive.
It does, and that's what we're all about, son.
Yes, but anyway, today is the 22nd of February, right? Which means tomorrow is the 23rd. Yeah, am I right? Is my maths right? Yeah. And that is the day that Disney Plus gets all its wonderful star content.
Hells yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know whether we need to really do a catch up on Wandavision. I suppose maybe because it was quite a big deal the last episode, right?
I was going to say, out of all the episodes that have been so far,
and you know what? There's been 2.
Really think we need
there's been 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to turn into the Wandavision podcast.
Well, it's not. It's just I think for the likes of yourself, who you've read a fuck ton of all the comics and stuff. The fact that Agatha Darkness has come out and is the big, well, potentially the big bad. Let
me explain why it was obvious. Because her name was Agnes, right? Agatha, Harkness, Agnes. It was too. It's one of those things. We said it before. Like
two on the nose, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sean was saying, "Oh, maybe it was Quicksilver from the X-Men films coming into him. The actor is getting him on the show. Maybe that was just like a little wink and a nod to be like, hey, look, it's this guy who also played the character, but not at all intentional. Like, there's no way, there's no possible way. It's absolutely meant to be him and meant to be the X-Men version of the character. There's no doubt in my mind.
No,
in the same way. So the point is, there are no mistakes. There are no, oh, whoops, yeah, okay, that was something we probably shouldn't have made a big deal about. So the fact that, I mean, it was the name alone, but also she wore the little brooch a couple of times, which is part of her character look. Her sort of witchy outfit is with the little brooch. So there was lots of things that said yes, definitely there. The thing that I'm waiting to find out is whether her husband or whether anyone else is Mephisto.
It's got to be a husband, surely. Chances
are, because she is working for someone else. And I remember thinking when I first, when she first revealed herself as being behind everything, I was like, that's a bit cheesy and like, oh look, it's this witch character. And then when more I think about it, one, we've already got magicians and all this sort of stuff like sorcerers and witches because we've got the Doctor Strange stuff. So actually, it does kind of make sense and fit in. And two, if it wasn't the TV show wasn't done in the way it was done, where everything is very TV sitcom style, I don't think that reveal would have been quite as satisfying. I think it probably might have felt a little bit like Scooby-Doo. It went out of place, but because of the way they've pitched the entire series, where it is very sitcom, the way she revealed herself to be like, I mean, not ignoring the song, because that
was just awful.
Well, not that it was awful, but I thought it was great. It just fit so well, and they gave her own. It showed that it was her sitcom. It wasn't Wanda's. Everything else had been Wanda. Yeah. And then suddenly it was Agatha all along. It's the Monsters theme song, but it was more the kind of the Scooby-Doo style reveal of like, yeah, I've been behind this all from the beginning. It just fits so well because it's entirely sitcom. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And you know what we have, because we didn't do a pod last week. Like the Malcolm in the Middle style episode was the most spot on of all of them. I think it just, as I watched it, I was just like, this feels exactly like I'm watching an episode of Malcolm in the Middle. Not just the theme song, just the camera style and everything. It's brilliant, so well.
Yeah, the Modern Family one, like I was really looking forward to. That was the one I thought, I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
and
but
it wasn't as Modern Family-esque as what I thought.
No,
it was,
because she was. Well, it was a little bit the setting and stuff like that seemed to fit right. The her sitting on the chair doing the to the camera stuff. But that one wasn't played for jokes, and I think that was the problem. All the others have been like, okay, the Malcolm in the Middle style one, it had Malcolm in the Middle style jokes. That was part of what you kind of enjoy, especially if you like those shows. Whereas the Modern Family one, I thought, this is going to be brilliant. They just going to play off that really well, but they didn't. It was played far too seriously because that's what the episode needed. It needed the point of her really losing it.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't funny enough. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, glad it wasn't. But yes, so well done. So well done.
Well, I am intrigued now because the fact that I know you've read the House of M, like comic arc and stuff, and that's literally what they're going for, isn't it?
In part, yeah. More in the whole arc running up to it with her kids, her creating her kids from nothing. But I don't think it's going to end in the same or similar way. I don't think it can.
Well, seeing as this is setting up thing, isn't it? Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've got a couple other films and shows before then, haven't we? So, I don't know. I feel like unless this runs straight into it and everything else is pre this or at the same time or whatnot, I don't think that they'll do a similar sort of thing where reality completely gets rewritten. So I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. We shall see.
Very interesting, my friend.
To be fair, though, one thing I saw it pop up on Reddit. I've just been trying to find it. I think I've got a similar thing. Someone put up the schedule for like the episode schedule for all of the Disney Plus Marvel stuff. I think the post was like, am I wrong with this, or did Disney Plus have something Marvel to release every single week in 2021? And they put a screenshot of a spreadsheet, and it was basically it's WandaVision all the way through, and then the next week the making of WandaVision, and then it's Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then it's all those episodes, and then it's the making of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then it's I think the making of Black Widow, and then Loki starts. And then once Loki's finished, it's on to What If, and then once What If's finished, it's I can't remember what the next one was, but it literally, when you look at that, apart from the little breaks where they've got a behind the scenes making of an episode of one of the shows or one of the movies, it literally we've got a new episode of something every single week.
That's nice, because I was going to say we were sitting the other night, me and Ash, and we were just like, there's not really anything on now. We've completely boxed it all off. And I really wanted her to watch Wandavision with me, so I was like, we need to watch Infinity War, because you've not seen Infinity War and you've not seen Endgame, so we need to watch them. So we watched Infinity War, and we started watching Infinity War, and I was like, right, okay, so this is like this character. We started like running through it. I was like, if you can remember, this is that. And she was like, where did he come from? Like, who's this guy? And I was like, Vision. She was like, yeah, who is Vision? And I was like, have you seen Age of Ultron? And she was like, which one's that one? And I was like, the second Avengers film. She was like, I don't think so. And I was like, right, okay. So we stopped Infinity War and went back and watched like Age of Ultron. And then she was like, no. This is actually quite good, this. And then, because I haven't seen it since I watched it originally, watching all the Marvel films and then watching WandaVision and going back and watching Age of Ultron, like, fair fucking play to Marvel. Like, the tee-ups and the little mini Easter eggs and the little hints and tips that, like, they give, even, like, right at the beginning of Age of Ultron, that literally doesn't come up again up until Endgame, and I'm like, fucking fair play. Like, when they did it fucking amazingly well, and it was such an enjoyable film after felt a little bit of a letdown when we went.
I definitely remember at the time liking it, but not quite having the same feeling as I had with some of the previous films. But on rewatches, it holds up.
Yeah, it's the same as Civil War. Like, I remember, because I was disappointed in Civil War because I just read through the entire arc.
Yeah,
comics.
Oh yeah, and you were hoping for, well, because Winter Soldier had been so amazing. Yeah, that had sort of built up quite a lot, hadn't it, I guess.
Yeah, and then having like 10 years away near enough from that, and then go back and watching it again, I was like, yeah, fair play. That's actually a really good film as well. So then we watched them, and then I was like, right, Infinity War, Endgame. She was like, is there anything else I've missed out on? And I was like, you haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, either have you? And she was like, no. I was like, right, okay, let's watch Doctor Strange then. So we watched Doctor Strange. And at this point, I was like, we've literally had 3 nights solid. Like 4 nights solid, sorry, of just watching Marvel back to back. Just like, right, okay, finish this now, right, we're halfway through this one, we need to go to bed. It's like 1 a.m, let's watch the rest of it tomorrow. And I was like, she will hit a burn point at some point, so I'm like, you know what, let's just try and leave it and just wait, see. And she's like, right, we're going to stick that on. And she's like, right, what's next after Thingy? And I was like, we've only got one left, and that's Captain Marvel. And I was like, but that's the only one. Like, that is the black sheep of the entire Marvel films. Like, even on the second watch, I was like, that is not a good film.
No, I don't mind it.
Bits where I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
I can't remember how many times I've watched it, whether I did get to watch it a second time. But no, I like it. I prefer it to Black Panther.
Oh yeah, I forgot that exists.
Yeah, that's
that's how bad that is. Yeah, literally the black
pun
one.
intended.
But yeah, I think Captain Marvel. It was all right, but I think she's my Superman of the
fair enough.
The Marvel universe, where
yeah.
she just seems like, because she can do everything and got everything and just can single-handedly can destroy galaxies. I'm like, yeah,
but now we see that so can Wanda. You know, she has the same sort of powers.
And the one thing I like about Wandavision now is she's dropped that accent so much. Like, it's calmed down so much. Like, going back watching Age of Ultron and listening to her talk in a Slovakian accent, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm so glad this drops.
But she has it when she's in the real world, though. So it's, you know, I don't know. Isn't it weird how you're saying that you're I don't know whether listeners know if we say Ash, but Ash, Reg's wife, she decided, you know, I want to watch this one, then straight into another one, and wants to watch another one, and wants to watch another one. Isn't it weird when that happens, when someone, you're trying to get them to watch something for ages, and then suddenly something clicks, and then they just want to watch all of them?
Yeah.
Right. That is basically what's happened with me and Shell and Star Wars. You know, I don't want to say I made her watch Mandalorian. I was like, well, let's watch Mandalorian. I think I like it. And she absolutely loved it. Like, went straight on the internet and bought Lego Grogu, Baby Yoda. And yeah, absolutely adored it. And we'd taken probably about a year to get to episode 1 of Star Wars. Like, we watched 4, 5, and 6. And I don't think we'd watched episode 1 yet, but as soon as we'd watched Mandalorian, she's like, well, what else can we watch? And I was like, all right, well, let's start carrying on watching Star Wars. And over the course of 3 weeks, I think on a Saturday or a Sunday, we watched Phantom Menace, we watched Attack of the Clones, and we watched Revenge of the Sith. And then I remember saying, right, the next one, which is the new one, I think you're going to really, really like, because it's very sort of modern. It's proper modern Hollywood Disney blockbuster, and it's really fun. It's really good. Yeah, so Saturday we watched The Force Awakens, and then Sunday we literally just went through the rest. She watched Last Jedi, and immediately after that watched Rise of Skywalker. And two important things. Do you remember I told you how she loves Jar Jar Binks, and that obviously was quite a disappointing moment. She's kind of, I think, just through general pop culture, she'd learned the names or heard the names of these characters. So like Rey came up and she went, oh, is that Rey? And I was like, yeah, that's Rey. And then Kylo Ren came up and went, is that, what's his name? Ken something? Kenny? So basically he's now called Kenny, and every time he came on the screen, she'd be like, there's Kenny Boy. I was like, yep, that's Kenny Boy. Kylo Ren, Kenny Boy. And two, I don't understand how Marvel and Disney are so good at what you said before, going, right, let's put an Easter egg in this film and then it'll pay off 7 years later. Like, everything is planned ahead. They've got a whole arc. How did they not do that with the new Star Wars trilogy? Because the final one, Rise of Skywalker, it's fine, but it just doesn't fit. I think we had a pod about this, but it just suddenly goes, oh yeah, all of this happened. By the way, this guy, spoilers, this guy's back. He was dead, but he's back, just so we can have a bad guy that they can fight. And there you go. I don't understand how they didn't go, right, these could be huge if we just do it the Marvel way, and let's get the entire story written, or at least have a plan. They could have laid the seeds. It would have made so much more sense if they laid the seeds early on that Palpatine might have been still alive, again, spoilers, rather than just put in the opening crawls. Like, the first thing it says is, oh yeah, Palpatine's not dead.
Yeah. It was a bit of a...
so frustrating.
Yeah, a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, what? But I think that's our next one, because we're going to start watching The Mandalorian, because Ash hasn't watched The Mandalorian yet.
Yeah.
And then I was like, have you seen the start? She was like, I think I've seen them all. And I was like, I remember she came to pictures with us to see the first one.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, when we all went to see The Force Awakens, didn't we?
I can't remember.
And then I think, that's where I think I'm forgetting now, because I can't remember it. I know she didn't come with us to watch Rogue One, because I just went with my dad to watch Rogue One. And then she was like, I think I've seen Solo. So I'm like, Solo is amazing, and Chewbacca's in it, so there's a good chance you probably have.
Yeah, that's the only one we haven't watched yet, but you can watch that anytime, I suppose, can't you?
Yeah. So, but I know for a fact she definitely hasn't watched the very last Rise Skywalker, because I've only seen it once, and I went on the big like 4D wavy chair experience.
Oh yeah,
thing.
that's right. Yeah.
But then it's a case of they are like 3 hours long, near enough each film. So if we have seen them before, like she has seen it before, it's a long stretch to go like, right, okay, we can get through this one. Just need to sit through this and get through it. It is,
but they're the same length as the prequels, roughly. But the prequels are such a hard slog. They're just... George Lucas doesn't know what he's doing. He had a good idea, and he managed to pull it off at least once. But yeah, those prequels just hard going. I don't know. Yeah. The one interesting thing is though as well. I've kind of been wanting to give Clone Wars a go. But I thought, I don't know when I'm going to have the time. Maybe I'll get into it at some point. But she's actually interested in watching the Clone Wars, which is good. After we've finished watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm dying to see the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I watched every single season before and really like it. And, I've been waiting for this final season, and Disney Plus go, right, we've got it now. And then she's like, oh, that looks good. Can we watch it? I'm like, yeah, okay. So we've got to start from season 1. So we're just coming up to the end of season 2 now. I've still got another 5 seasons until I can get to somewhere that I haven't seen. But that's such an underrated show. Like the beginning was very slow. I'll give them that. Like the first half of the series, but I think about halfway through the first series, you get to a point where can't remember what film they were doing. I think it might have been Age of Ultron. Or one of the Thors, I can't remember. But there's a point where you can see that there's suddenly a crossover. They're referencing stuff that's happened. Of course, yeah, no, it's Winter Soldier, all the Hydra stuff. Yeah. As soon as that starts to happen, it really comes into its own, and it's brilliant. It's so good.
It was very good. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, I think I missed like 2 episodes. And like it wasn't recording on Sky, and you couldn't find it on like the Sky planner thing, when you like, catch up on the box sets. Right. It wasn't there, and I was like, right, I've lost it now. And I think I was like on season 4 or 5, so it was really, really good, and then just sort of stopped. I was like, damn it. So
it's a shame. It was really, really good. It's one from the shows I stuck with, like the Arrow and all that sort of stuff. I really started to lose interest towards the end. Whereas that, I proper stuck with it. Is very, very good, and like I say, really underrated, I think. And there's even rumours now that potentially, I mean, there's been rumours for ages that Sky Daisy, that she's gonna find some place in the new Marvel universe, even though that is technically part of the Marvel, the MCU. Yeah. They never really. It was almost like it's not quite canon. But potentially they're going to bring her back, and also I'm hearing Coulson is potentially going to have a role in one of the new series, and both of those would fit in Secret Wars. So hopefully they do something. Now I don't want to make this all about Disney Plus, but one other thing. What is it? Why we got so much to talk about Disney Plus? They've just added the Muppet Show.
Yes,
which it's very old, right? It's from the 70s, yeah? 70s and early 80s. I remember I clicked on it and I was like, how many episodes were there? And there's I think 5 seasons, and each one's about 24 episodes long. I was like, there's a lot of Muppets here. And I'm sat on the couch with Shell, and we start flicking through, going, "Oh, each episode is named after the person that is in it, the guest star." And it took about 12 or 13 episodes that we flicked through before we got to someone that we both knew, let's say. And even then, there was probably only one other person that I recognize the name of, because it's all these really old-timey 1970s country singers, actors, like all sorts of stuff. And when you go through the entire 125 episodes, something like that, there's probably about 15 that were like, "Oh yeah, that person." Like, "Yep, Sylvester Stallone, know them. Olivia Newton-John, yep, know her." But the rest are just like all these random names that you've probably never heard of if you are under the age of 50.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny because the internet seems to be really excited that the Muppets are on Disney Plus. Like, I've seen so much stuff on Twitter and on Reddit, people going, "Oh yeah, the entire run of the Muppet Show is going to be on soon. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant." Yet they're ignoring the fact that there's all the movies already on there, and including two, at least, amazing, just really good movies in Most Wanted and the Muppets movie, like the new ones. Plus then the Muppets TV show they did, which was as
well, the sort of office based.
Yeah, exactly. It's like exactly. It was it's like 30 Rock, basically. It's Miss Piggy is hosting a late night talk show, and all the Muppets work on it, and it's brilliant. That was the first thing we watched on Disney Plus. I was like, "Oh great, let's put an episode of this on. You're gonna like this," and we binged the whole series. It's so good because it's kind of not necessarily adult, but it's definitely not just a kids. Oh look, there's puppets. It's so just like I say, almost adult. But anyway, one thing is there are a few episodes that are missing, and they've not really said about why. It could be that there's music rights or something like that they've not got, or it could be that there's something in it that Disney are not proud of that they want to remove. Now apparently a bunch of the episodes have got warnings on them, warning people of negative, old-fashioned, out-of-date stereotypes may feature in this episode.
They do that quite a lot.
So yeah, apparently there's 18 episodes that have got this message on, just to warn people, which is interesting. They could have just gone, all right, let's just get rid and let's not put them on. Like, they're trying to scrub from the face of the earth Song of the South, for example, even to the point of them completely retheming probably one of the most famous theme park rides. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's nothing they could a warning in front of that. Could that save that film? Or is that a step too far for Disney?
I think that's the only one, isn't it? Because there's so many things now. You watch, it's on the front of the Jungle Book, on Pinocchio, on Peter Pan.
Is it really? A lot of other stuff on Disney. Wow. Okay.
Any of the old films, animated stuff, they've all got the warnings.
Oh yeah,
on.
I suppose Dumbo, the bird. Yeah.
Literally so many of the things are I know a lot of the stuff's been taken off, the kids stuff. So if you've only got a kid account, if when I was a little bit older and we give him his own logins for stuff,
right?
He won't be able to watch Pinocchio or Dumbo or anything like that on his account. They've taken them right off those, but on the adult ones
for kids because of the outdated references. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, but for the adults,
you adults, you saw them when they originally came out, and you're old enough to understand that Disney changed.
I find it really, really bizarre that, to be fair, but I suppose they have to cover the backs because people like to sue over the most ridiculous of fucking things these days. So they have to be like, well, okay, don't worry, we'll put this in front of it and make sure everyone's happy. And if they're not, we can take it away. And that's what they did.
What's our disclaimer?
I think it's a bit too late in the day for that, isn't it? Well, to be fair, we do have to have tick boxes when we post our ones to be like, is there mature, sensitive topics? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and the annoying thing is there isn't just a box that you can tick to say always. Just don't even ask me. Just there will. Look, Reg is on this show. There will always be salty language.
Yeah. Whoops. But it's nice to have the mix, isn't it? You know, if we both didn't do what I did,
it's true.
then you know, it'd be quite a boring one. So it's nice that we have a good blend.
It's very true.
Go
on.
I was going to say, while we're on the subject of TV and stuff, before we move into the gaming,
that's not Disney Plus.
That's not Disney Plus. Have you seen that Sony are finally now moving ahead with the Twisted Metal TV series? Like,
okay, so Sony apparently have got 6 or 7 or something games that they're turning into TV or movies, right?
Yes.
So this is one of them.
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones that they've actually announced now.
Twisted Metal.
Properly. That
the game
that
they, for some reason, refused to bring back.
It is peculiar. I think it's going to come back with a vengeance just before this. I know that they've done like the remaster and they've brought out Twisted Metal Black, haven't they? In the past.
Yeah,
it was like
that was a while ago, right?
Yeah, it was a few years back. Like I think it was still PS3 or 3, wasn't it?
3. So there you go. So 8 years at least.
But it's going to be quite an interesting one. The report came out today stating that it's going to be a coming action comedy series, which is going to be from the writers of the Deadpool movies and Zombieland.
Okay, I can see that.
And the producer of Cobra Kai.
Right.
So they've got everyone on board now. That's a series I've not got around to watching yet, but everybody's whoring off it. And I'm like,
yeah, me too.
That kid was not that great, despite what everyone thinks.
No,
it's not.
I can't imagine there's that many people out there that were such a huge fan of the Karate Kid that have then thought, that were then excited about Cobra Kai. I think it's more that it's supposed to just be really, really good. Like the quality of it's supposed to be that good that it's drag people in to watch it. I think anyway. Maybe I'm wrong.
So. I hope so. At some point, I do want to look at it, I think, but I keep getting vibes of it's just going to be like a really, like a serious Saved by the Bell type of action thing.
Maybe, yeah.
I just can't get my head around how it's going to be any good.
No,
that's all.
It was originally YouTube Premium or whatever, wasn't it? YouTube Red, and now it's on Netflix. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Netflix it is Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just Netflix now. Yeah. Interesting.
So,
there's a game as well, isn't there? They made a video game of it.
Oh, they didn't, did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Recently, yeah.
Is it like a straight to mobile freemium where you just run a dojo?
No, it's not mobile. I'm literally mean a PlayStation 4 game. Cobra Kai, PS4, The Karate Kid Saga continues is the subtitle.
Oh wow, it looks absolutely awful. I'm looking at it now, like what the actual? Oh,
it looks a bit Streets of Rage-ish, but not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way at all. Wow. Yeah, okay, I'm not lost about watching that Cobra Kai anymore.
Hey, Google usually gives you a good sort of, rundown of what the game's about and an average rating of a really good, respectable website. And in the sidebar, it's given me the rating for Argos. So the Argos website, 4.7 out of 5, Reg. So, that's a good rating.
Wow. Don't listen to the haters. Like, this game is an awesome old school beat 'em up.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm all right with that one. I'll pass on that.
Stick with Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, 100%. Have you watched the trailer for Mortal Kombat? Speaking of YouTube.
I haven't yet, actually. Film? No. I meant to have a look, but I'm not quite as excited for it as you are.
Yeah, well, you see.
You're wrong.
See, in my head, right, I watched Mortal Kombat Rebirth on YouTube, which was fucking stunning. That was the fan made thing, which wasn't licensed, and it was just brutal. So, like, Reptile was a serial killer, Raiden was crazy and like a nut house, like Baraka was there, just like a cannibal. Like, it was all dark, grey, gruesome. And then Legacy came out, which they turned into a series and was licensed by the dude in Midway at the time. I think it was Midway. They were still around. And said, yeah, here you go wild with it. And it was like his proper YouTube series too. And It was all right. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the first, but it was pretty decent. And then they said, hey, we're going to do this film and it's going to have like all the fatalities. It's going to be really gritty, down to earth. It's more realistic. You know, it's going to be fantastic. And I was like, oh, I'm excited because Rebirth was great. And they kept on saying, you know, by the guys that done Rebirth and like, this is going to do this. This is going to be this. And I was like, ooh. And then they showed you some of the motion pictures, like motion posters. And I was like, oh, the characters look really cool. And then the trailer came out.
Mm-hmm.
See, my issue is I was chatting to Mike about it at work. It's as though they had a really grand scheme about this film's going to be like, you know, just fucking fantastic. And this is what we're going to do with certain characters. And then they went to Warner Brothers and was like, here's our idea. Can we have all the money to make it? And Warner Brothers went, here's the money we like, you know, DC give the Arrowverse to play with. Here's the money for all your CGI and stuff, and just go crazy. It's definitely not Marvel Disney Plus levels of money for like a TV show that has gone into this film. Some of the effects look great, and then others just look like just so bad, so bad. So the story is basically a guy called Cole. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, that might actually be his last name. Sorry, Cole. He's an MMA fighter that's washed up, and he goes into to do a fight, and someone notices his birthmark on his chest, and the birthmark is the shape of the Mortal Kombat logo. And someone, Jax is in fact is like, that's not a birthmark. You've been chosen, and he goes into then Mortal Kombat from the sound of it. But the trailer shows off a load of characters, and there's like the way that Jax loses his arms is brutal. Sub-Zero, spoiler alert, Sub-Zero literally like freezes them and then just snaps them off as like mid-fight and stuff. And you see it all that like in the trailer. You do see a couple of like, the fatalities do look gruesome. But I think the thing that annoyed me the most, and I don't know why, is we wanted to keep the original tune for the Mortal Kombat film, 1995 film, which is one of the all-time greatest films ever. I had 2 video cassettes of that film because I overwatched it that much, the first one, that I had to get the second one. And I had the soundtracks because it was that fucking good. And to this day, I will still stand by it. Whenever it's on TV, I'm like, I have to watch this. It's fucking brilliant. But they've slowed it down. It's a weird, instead of going dun 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 dun, it's like dun 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 dun, like weird.
Well, just be happy they haven't got some wispy voiced female singer to do like a bad acoustic cover version of it, like they do with every other song.
Yeah, I wish they would have just left it alone, to be honest.
All that.
Yeah. There's like a couple of nice little touches in there, but the one thing that really threw me straight away was, have you seen the second Mortal Kombat film?
No, I've seen none of them, Reg.
What have you?
I've got no interest in watching them.
Holy shit, Dan! Holy shit! You need to watch the first Mortal Kombat film. It's the 1995 version.
It's not
and I will happily watch it with you because it's so good. And I'm genuinely not even joking. Like seriously.
Okay.
Like, you know how everyone's like, oh, the Street Fighter film's brilliant, you need to watch it. It's like, and it's awful.
Yeah, that's weird. I've watched that a couple of times. But
exactly. Mortal Kombat's great. It is. It's actually just a good film. It is a good film. Admittedly, it's not anywhere near as dark and gritty and brutal and stuff as what it should be, but it is still a good film. And Goro in it is great. Like the CGI still.
He's the guy with like 6 arms, right? Or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the 4-arm dude.
Okay.
Who's also in this new one. They show you like a very tiny snippet of him jumping at the main guy, Cole. And this is the bit where it starts losing me on the main YouTube trailer for the new film. Is it looks as though he's got like stone skin now. So when it starts off the trailer, he's just like normal human dude. And then it like Sonya Blade's telling him all about this birthright, this like tattoo It's basically saying you've been chosen to take part in this like challenge for something bigger than you'll ever imagine, and basically it's to defend Earthrealm. And yeah, she shows the picture of what looks a bit like Baraka, who, if you've not seen any of the Mortal Kombat games or him, he's like a weird, disfigured, fucked up face dude with really sharp teeth and massive blade claw hands, who likes to eat people.
Okay. The name rings a bell.
So it looks a bit like that on the picture, but he's got stony like skin, like looks like armor or something coming over it. And then in the fight at the end of it, you see Cole's back looking just like that. I was like, that looks naff. That looks really, really naff. Like not even so cheesy. It looks good. It just looks really, really bad. So I wasn't a fan of that. They did do a whole like finish him moment in the trailer, and then they did like a little montage of loads of fatalities. And one of them is Kano ripping out the heart of a dude, and Kano rips out and goes, "Kano wins," in like a really shitty Aussie accent. It's so laughable. Like it's very, very like, oh, you didn't mean that to be funny, but it really is.
Is this the general reaction for it as well? So not even just yours?
It's not. That's the sad thing. Everyone's like, oh my God, this looks really fucking good. I'm like, I've watched it 3 times now, the trailer, to think, is it just me being overcritical because of my love for the 1995 version? But it's just not what I wanted done. And I think my issue is in my head I had how it should be, like watching the likes of Rebirth and stuff like that, and then seeing how well certain things have started to get like adapted, and like how good CGI stuff has come on despite the DC era stuff. It doesn't look good. And even Liu Kang, you put Liu Kang in a fucking Ryo outfit from Street Fighter, like the white pajamas with the red belt. Like, yeah, he's wearing that as he brings up a fire dragon. Like, there's just certain bits to it that I'm like, yeah, I'm not. So before I'd lost complete track of where I was going with it, and you said I haven't watched any Mortal Kombat films. In the second
Sorry, did I ruin it?
In the second Mortal Kombat film, Annihilation, there's a fight with Sonya Blade, and I can't remember who she's fighting in this desert because it was just so bad. It was another woman because he ended up fighting in mud and stuff. And it was just a bit like, oh, this is just fan service, and it wasn't good. And they show a clip of Sonya Blade and the new guy Cole and Jax walking over like a sand dune, looking into a desert bit again. I was like, oh, please don't put that bit in again. It's like it's got no reference to anything. I just hope she doesn't have another fight in the desert in mud and stuff. It's just going to be really like, no, please don't do this to me.
No, that's a very 90s action movie thing to do.
Yeah, but
So
the one thing I am quite excited about is I was reading an article all about when we're going to be getting Justice League. Snyder's Justice League over here and stuff on like HBO Max. So apparently the licensing must run out in like September or October for quite a lot of the like Sky's deal with HBO.
All right.
Because they're saying that apparently we're going to be getting HBO Max the Q4 of this year.
Interesting.
Which means that I won't actually have to pay to go watch Mortal Kombat. So,
well, yeah, hopefully. But it's,
I guess 7-day trial.
But stuff's only. Aren't these films only on there for 2 weeks?
Oh, right. Okay.
I think that's the case. I mean, that's not to say that it won't launch with all these movies ready to go, but I mean, the latest is that cinemas aren't going to be opening until, was it end of May, beginning of June?
21st of June, isn't it?
Yeah, there's an awful lot of films that are going to have to find a home.
Yeah, I mean, I am hoping they do it because like the more
they need to make money out of it now, and not, if this stuff goes onto HBO Max over in the States and the rest of the world doesn't get it, people are just going to pirate straight away. If they can't go to the cinema to watch it and they can't watch it on a streaming service legally, they're just going to do that. So it's in their interest to find someone to pay them money to put it on their service. So I think they'll find a home.
I wouldn't mind if they did like with Wonder Woman and stuff, where you can buy it on Amazon Prime and buy it on the Sky Store. Like,
but it's like 20 quid, 25
yeah,
quid.
exactly. But I'd like it if you could do it what they do with like the normal Sky box office. You know, when you can rent it for like the night for like 4 quid, 5 quid, and then you can just that's it. You don't keep it. You can just watch it for like 5 quid.
Yeah.
Quid. If they came out and said, right, okay, you want to watch Wonder Woman 74, like 84 for like $7.99, I'd be like, you know what, yeah, because I quite enjoy the first one, and that's the price of one cinema ticket. So I would pay that to watch a film that I was excited about, or at least interested in. So if Mortal Kombat came out for like $6.99, I'd be like, yeah, go on, it's a film based on the game, and I like the game, so I will watch it. It would be that, but because they're like, oh yeah, if you want it, it's like $18.99 or fucking $23.99. Then you get to keep it, and it's it's going to be shit, but please buy it. I'm like, I don't want to spend 20 quid on it. I'd never spend 20 quid on a film unless it's a limited edition Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
that's like the only thing I would spend 20 quid on film wise. It's just absolutely mental prices. I know they're saying a family's going to watch it now, so we need to put up for that much. It was like Mulan when Mulan came out on Disney Plus. Like that was just ridiculous. That, but hey ho. Have you seen?
Yeah, it's the fact that you're buying for just you or you and Ash, rather than they're looking at a family going, oh, do you know what, 30 quid or 25 quid or whatever between me, my husband, and our 4 kids or whatever. That's far cheaper than if I went to the cinema and had to buy them all the popcorn and all this sort of stuff. That's what they're aiming for. Yeah, it's the same with pay-per-views. Some of these boxing matches, and you're paying like $100 or something like that to watch. Yeah, they're like, okay, well, this is going to go between you and your 8 mates who you're going to get around to have a party. So everyone's going to throw in 10, 15 quid. That's what they're aiming for. But yeah, in theory, you're absolutely right. It doesn't work. But I don't know.
Have you seen the picture of the Joker, the new picture they released today of the Joker from the Snyder cut?
No, I'm just bringing it up now. Joker Justice League.
Yeah, he's Jesus.
Brilliant.
I'm just like,
oh yeah.
I have no clue what they are doing at the minute with this Snyder cut.
Well, we live in society, Reg.
And the worst thing is, I think it's made me want to watch it less. Mm-hmm. Now with how I was originally going, you know what? Actually, yeah, I want to see what's different. And the most I like the look of the Joker in this one when they did the trailer and stuff. But now they're just like, oh yeah, look at him, he's going to be Jesus now. By the way, he didn't get paid for all this. Like, he wanted to do it for the fans and all. I'm like, I just stop it. Just stop telling me all about it. I don't care anymore. Like, genuinely lost interest in that film now.
Yeah, I still don't get what it is. It's just it's just an entirely new film, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Apparently, he's never watched and never will watch. He got banned from watching the
Whedon cut.
Yeah, apparently it would break his heart and upset him too much. So one brother was like, "No, you're not allowed to watch it."
Wow, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So that's interesting. But
apparently, also it's going to have it's got a new ending, which has got a mind-blowing hero cameo. Doesn't say who it is. It just says someone's going to be in it, and everyone's going to be, oh my days, it's that person.
Is it Green Arrow?
Be Green Lantern.
I hope it's Green Arrow.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, he wouldn't blow my mind, but I do like Green Arrow.
It would. Would it blow your mind if it was Ryan Reynolds?
That would blow my mind. That would, and I'd be like, okay, I'm in. Great. See, now I'm going to have to watch it. Only if it is him.
What if it was Stephen Amell as Green Arrow?
Yeah, see, I'd be into that. I would be into that. But I don't know. I've got no interest in it. I think because the DC universe has been so shite, I've got
It's just
no
all
faith
over the place, and I've got
in
no idea where any of it ties in. And
this.
I mean, maybe it just doesn't need to, but it's what they wanted to happen in the first place was for everything to tie in, and now suddenly it doesn't because Suicide Squad doesn't fit with this film, and then just none of them have got any connection anymore. I don't even know what's going on with the Flash film or the Cyborg film. And
The Cyborg film's not going to be happening anymore, is it? Because Ray Fisher's gone like, yeah, I tell you what, don't want to be any part of this anymore. Mm-hmm. So he's now no longer part of the Flash film. Hasn't got his own sort of thing. So that's that entire thing just gone completely. They're not going to recast him. They're just like, yeah, we're just going to get rid of the Cyborg character, who apparently is going to play a huge part in the Flash film. Because he was going to be
supposed to, yeah,
like one of the huge kickstarting parts for the Justice League 2 and all that sort of shit. And they need to just do the Flash film quickly, do Flashpoint, get it all out of the way, wipe it all out, and then just be like, right, here we go. If we're going to have a continuation type of universe, let's start it from now. If we're just going to do random odd films, cool, but just don't try and do both, because that's where you just confuse everyone and just it messes it all up.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
Not a fan.
No.
But you know what I am a fan of, Dan? I'm a fan of new consoles.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where this is going.
If you're thinking what Reg would be after if he had some moolah right now, I wonder what he would be looking at pre-ordering and getting all up on.
Pre-ordering? New console?
Yeah. You wouldn't be thinking, I tell you what, since they're all coming back in again, he'll be pre-ordering one of those PS5 Sony consoles or one of those Microsoft Xbox One X's or whatever they are. He's not interested in any of that.
Okay.
You know what he's interested in? The new Soldier Boy console.
This is old news, though, right?
No, this is brand new news.
This is another. Yeah, but
this has
come round again. Then
tweeted yesterday,
right?
So basically, Soldier Boy back in 2018, he released a console and a handheld.
Yes.
Which basically were just off-brand emulators.
Yeah. Basically, stuff you could buy on Amazon, on eBay, and whatever, on AliExpress already that he was selling and putting the Soldier Boy 3000 on it.
And the thing that made me laugh was he put up a tweet before I was reading articles about this new console before, and he put up a tweet apparently the day before he stopped selling it, saying like, for all you haters out there that say Nintendo or like Microsoft are going to sue me, and he's like, that ain't going to happen. All my things legit. Nothing's ever going to happen. My console ain't going anywhere. Trust me. And then the next day, he deleted the tweet and took the stuff off sale. And I was like, interesting. And now he came back with, please just Google Soldier game console. Soldiers in SOULJA.
Don't worry, I know how to spell Soldier Boy's name, Reg. Big fan.
Because it looks as though he's gone, right, what are we going to do? Oh, I tell you what, I really like the look of the Xbox One, like the small white one. I also really like holding the old PlayStation pad.
Yeah.
So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like a PlayStation like DualShock 2 or 3 type pad and use the shell of an old Xbox and use that. It looks horrendous, but his tweet is if you go to, it's got its own Instagram and Twitter page, this Soldier game. The newest tweet is, build a new console from scratch, all new design, all new games, all new deals. Let's make history. And I'm just like,
yeah. And the second comment on that tweet is someone linking to AliExpress.
Yeah.
with exactly the same product for $80.
I love it. I love how he just thinks he can get away with this sort of shit. It's absolutely hilarious. So I can't wait. For all those people that are out there buying PlayStation 5s, do they not know what's out there? What's coming soon, Dan? It's going to be majestic. Absolutely majestic.
Yeah, and what's the deal with the KFC console?
That's real.
Yeah, and by real, it's just a PC, right?
It's just a PC that's got a chicken heater at the bottom of it.
Yeah,
to keep your chicken warm while you game.
That's it, basically. So it'll play PC games that match the spec.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a very high spec machine because they took most of the hot the space up to put the chicken.
Yeah, to heat chicken. I mean, it's a good idea because the heat from the console's got to go somewhere. Might as well use it for something. Let's heat up some chicken.
I just love the KFC were like, yeah, what do we need to do? Let's make a console. It's just they joked about April as people like, go make it happen. And they're like, fine, we will.
The thing I hate is American company social media, where they try and give the shop or the restaurant or whatever a personality, and they all comment on each other's stuff. It's like, did you see the what was it? Was it like beans on something? Oh, what was it recently that really took off and everyone was like, no, that's just wrong.
Is it beans on pizza?
No, because that was a thing. They used to sell that in Sainsbury's, and I used to eat it, and it was really nice. It was just baked beans instead of the tomato sauce, and then just cheese, and then they also did one with little bits of sausage on top. No. Mm-hmm. I think it was. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to find out what this was, but the Twitter chain was mildly funny. But
I quite like it, like when Wendy's and Denny's and stuff have a dig at each other. Like, I find that quite amusing.
Some of them just try way too hard, though.
Oh yeah,
it's just really bad. I don't know.
But while we're on the subject of announcements, Dan,
yeah,
reveals it was BlizzCon this week. Well, last week just gone.
On virtual BlizzCon.
Yeah, so it was virtual BlizzCon, which is weird. Like, I think every time someone does a virtual expo or whatever, no one really puts in that much effort compared to when it's like a proper, everyone has come and attend and you can get all your freebies and everyone puts on huge shows and makes it all good. And like BlizzCon usually has like hundreds of announcements and loads of stuff that they're like, oh, well, by the time you watch this, the demo for it will be on. And everyone's like, holy shit, what? And like all that sort of stuff. And there was a few announcements, but nothing like special. So it was interesting. So one of the cool things I did like was they're doing the Blizzard Arcade collection, which is now available to purchase on consoles and PC. And that has Rock and Roll Racing on it, which, as we all know, is legendary. Blackthorn, which I don't know if you remember that. It looks a bit like Flashback, if you remember Flashback.
I remember Flashback, yeah.
So Blackthorn was pretty cool. I did like that. And The Lost Vikings, which is awesome. So they're all back, either the classic ones, or you can press the button and you can have it like new and enhanced versions of them. But Blizzard have come out and said, yeah, if you're going to stream the game, can you just remove the music from Rock and Roll Racing? Because apparently Twitch doesn't allow rock and roll music, doesn't license rock and roll music. So they had Metallica play the opening ceremony, so to speak, for BlizzCon. And watch, I know you don't watch Twitch, but go onto Twitch and watch the Metallica opening concert, because they replaced all the music with 8-bit chip tunes. Just not Metallica either, just random music that Metallica were playing to. It's just really fucking bizarre. No reason at all. So there's that, which is a bit crazy. So you've got the new sort of expansions for World of Warcraft Classic. So they're bringing in the Burning Crusade, which one of the big announcements for that one. Brand new patch for Shadowlands, which is going to do a load more dungeons and stuff like that. The trailer looks pretty cool for that, to be honest with you. They're bringing in a load more sort of cards and stuff for Hearthstone. No one really cares about it anymore, I don't think. Diablo
Dave
does. Yeah. Diablo 4 is finally getting its rogue class announcement, which is cool. And the trailer for that is really good. Like the one thing Blizzard do really well is their cinematics. Their cinematic trailers are right up there with Square.
Yeah.
Square and Blizzard are just phenomenal. Like how their Warcraft film, they haven't just thought, let's do CGI film or series. They did CGI series to like Netflix or whatnot. You know, that would be fucking incredible.
Yeah, we're getting a
CGI stuff.
Like on the similar. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I mean that surprised a lot of people that Valve would do anything like that. So
yeah,
it maybe it stands to reason that that's a possibility.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully,
just give us a Warcraft film sequel straight to Netflix.
Yep, I would be all over that because the first Warcraft film was fantastic.
Yeah,
I know a couple of people were like, "Oh no, shite." I thought it was really fucking good. Really, and like you said, even you enjoyed it, and you were like, "I'm never going to play World of Warcraft." Or sorry, one day, Reg. One day, maybe I will. To give your exact wording, and yet you loved the film, and I reckon you'd love the game.
I didn't love it. I liked it.
You liked the film, so you'd really like the game. Especially you get to play it with me, and I can guide you around places to pew pew and stab and stuff. That's cool.
True.
And whilst we're pew pewing and stabbing, they also announced the Diablo 2 Resurrection.
Yeah, that I saw, and people don't seem to be that happy because people still play Diablo 2. Like it still plays fine. So they're just saying, like, why? It's not adding anything to the game. It's just making it look all glossy and shiny. But we love the look of the old one. We love the look of the sprites and the characters. So don't do it. But
my only issue is it's going to be like Warcraft 3. Reforged, where like because everyone still played Warcraft 3, like that fan base was huge, and then they did this one and went, oh, by the way, because this is live, we've now put off the servers for the original, and you can't play the original Warcraft 3 online anymore. You've got to play the Warcraft 3 Reforged edition, which was horrendous, and they changed so much of it. But this, like, I love Diablo 3. That was my jump point into Diablo. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll get Diablo 2 because I've got the new Lappy and stuff. It was like $1.99 or something. I was like, oh yeah, and I couldn't get into it. I was like, it is too old for me. I know it sounds bad, but it's just because I've been playing 3 and then going back and trying to play 2. I couldn't get into it as much as what I got into 3. So watching this one, I'm like, yes, like this looks more like what I will get into. So. You know, I'm rather excited about it. And I think
that'll be it. It'll be successful because they'll force people to play that one now, or it'll be all the new people, the people who aren't necessarily still playing it. So the loud people on the internet who are complaining about it, saying we don't want it, are the people who are still playing it, and that's probably not what they're going after. So yeah. I get it. I do get it.
I'm very intrigued though because they never did anything about the Diablo Immortal, which is coming out very, very soon on mobile. Like they did a closed beta phase ages ago, and that's just
a freemium, MMO.
It's literally Diablo, but just free to play Diablo on the mobile.
Pay to win.
But everyone who played the beta and like I've read loads into it, and people like, yeah, literally, I haven't even spent a penny on it yet. And I had like easily got 30 to 40 hours of play on it. And I'm like, nice. Like that sounds awesome.
Fair enough.
Quite excited about that one.
Interesting. Well, do you know what doesn't sound awesome, Reg?
What's that?
Baked beans on Weetabix. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yes.
That was one of the questions on Saturday Night Takeaway, because that's back on now.
Oh, is it? Okay, fair enough. Oh, yeah, I heard about that, and they're not going to Walt Disney World anymore.
No, well, I suppose they can they? Well, I suppose.
Exactly.
If they did the show like 2 months later, they would have done, because apparently you can start looking at international travel in like August or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
yeah. Did you read much about this, though? Did you see any of the tweet replies?
I did not.
It was, you've got, let me see, Greater Manchester Police just replying to it, there's been a murder. Virgin Australia saying international borders are now closed. Where are we? Bix, Domino's, Pizza, us, Pineapple on pizza is the most controversial food ever. Weetabix, hold my spoon. Xbox, rare achievement unlocked. Literally the worst thing we've ever seen. The US Embassy in London tweeted, "This is not the US-UK collaboration we were hoping for." And the British Embassy then replied to that, "Strong opinion from the nation that makes tea in the microwave." Sainsbury's getting topical with beans have no authority here. No authority at all. KFC, Alexa, how do I delete someone else's tweet? And Krispy Kreme replying to them, seeing as the rules are out the window now, fancy a gravy-filled donut. And then Weetabix were like, right, look how much press we got from this. Let's try and redo it. Let's try and go bigger and better. So they went Marmite on Weetabix, and no one cared.
Good.
Yeah, which that doesn't sound as weird. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's Marmite, and Marmite's just horrible anyway. But
yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I'm not a fan of Marmite, but I love me some Twiglets. Although I shouldn't eat Twiglets.
True. Yeah, they do make you violent.
They do.
Yeah. The Weetabix is the weirdest thing, though. It just, you have it with milk, and it goes all loopy and stuff, and great. It's dead nice. But eat it with anything else, or on its own, like they are the driest substance known to man. So
it's like I know a few people that have their cereal with water. They have their Weetabix with water, and I'm like, how can you have it with water? Just when it couldn't get any worse. Yeah, you just add it with water.
I agree, but at the same time, it's like porridge. You can make that with hot water, can't you?
Yeah,
I kind of get that. All you need is the Weetabix to go gloopy and soggy.
So yeah, but it's not even warm water. This is just normal cold water that they like. One of the lads in work used to just literally in the morning I'd be making my coffee and he'd just rock up, and no matter what cereal ones he'd have, he'd just start going into the cold tap.
All right, any other cereal, and no, that is wrong. And
I'm just like, fucking weirdo. He's like,
you need to get him into a disciplinary hearing.
Cereal, man. It's like, if you don't like milk, don't have cereal.
Yeah,
that's how easy it is. Have a cereal bar.
Exactly.
It's just fucking weird sitting there eating Cocoa Pops with fucking water. Just
chocolatey water.
Just not right, Dan.
No. Absolutely. Anyway, sorry. Did you have something else, or are we all done?
I mean, I can't believe we didn't even say happy 35 years to Zelda or anything. But
well, it's not like today. It's like at some point this year, so it's fine. I'm pretty sure there's going to be bigger news than just the fact that they're re-releasing Skyward Sword, which that is that one and the Wind Waker. I feel like are the two that at some point, well, probably less so the Wind Waker, but Skyward Sword probably one of the lesser played.
Yeah, February 21st, so yesterday.
Was it? No way. Oh well, I'll take it back. But yeah, I think Skyward Sword is the ideal one to do because I feel like not that many people played it because it was right at the end of the Wii's life and right at the beginning of the Wii U's life, right? And no one bought a Wii U, and by that point everyone had sold their Wiis.
Yeah, I enjoyed it to a part.
Absolutely. That's no comment on the quality of it, but I just,
it's the motion control. Now they've taken that away.
Or give me the option to not have it. Yeah, but at the same time, it's amazing how much more responsive and accurate.
Yeah, but still flapping your arms like a fucking bird every time you want to jump on something and fly.
I could see that.
It's really fucking irritating.
Yeah.
So
and
that's the only reason it stopped me from playing it.
No.
But it was really good, really good. But they should have done more.
Well, they will. That's the first thing. That is, I think. I mean, that is the one that came out immediately before Breath of the Wild, right? So that is the most up to date one. So if they're gonna do an All Stars, do a release of a few games, then you've got some much older ones that could go into the compilation, as it were. That one makes sense that it is like, look, not enough people played this, so here it is. We're gonna enhance it and put it on our new console.
Yeah,
Like
the
that,
one thing I'm really hoping for is that what they did with Link's Awakening to do to the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Sages on the Game Boy Advance.
Seasons. Yeah.
Like do them Link's Awakening style, because the Game Boy Advance games are fucking brilliant. Really, really were good. And I'd love to be able to play them on the Switch with the style of Link's Awakening.
The advanced ones was Link to the Past and Minish Cap.
Yes,
that was Seasons and Ages with Game Boy Color, but still good. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of games. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Game and Watch featuring those featuring Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and maybe Link to the Past, something like that. The Game Boy Color version. I would love Link to the Past and Minish Cap Advance put onto something like a Game & Watch. I would absolutely be all over that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen one of those in the flesh running? Yeah, the Mario Game & Watch.
No, I've only seen the one that you showed me a picture of. I've not actually seen one in the flesh yet.
Honestly, the best thing about the screen is so nice. Like the best quality screen I've seen on a little handheld like that in ages, and maybe that's just because I've been playing, Game Boy Advance. Probably that's the most recent thing on 3DS, but even like the DS screen was terrible in comparison. It's just so bright and vivid, and it just shows what they can do for very cheap nowadays. So something like that I would love. I'm really tempted with these the Evercade. Have you had a look into that? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure at some point there'll be some price drops on some of the games and things like that, but they're not bad value as they are. You're talking 10 to 12 quid for a cartridge which has got at least 3 really good games, if not some of them have got like 10, 11, 12 games on them. So there's some quality stuff on them. So it's a really interesting little machine, and it's fairly cheap. It's about 60 quid, I think, to buy 50, 60 quid. But for if Nintendo did something like that, I would be all over it.
I was really tempted to get the Razer Kishi controller, for your phone. Mike got one in work when he bought his Samsung S21 Ultra or whatever. He got that thrown in with it, and I was like, all right. And he was playing like Streets of Rage 4 and the Master Chief Collection on Xbox Game Pass.
Wow.
Using that on the way, like literally as they were driving from their house to the Countess.
Okay.
And he was like, and I don't possess any of those games, so I just played them on the cloud on Game Pass, and they played smooth as butter. He was like, they absolutely fantastic. And he's like, and if you sign up now to Game Pass, you can get like a month trial for £1. And then obviously I can use Naomi's email address, and then I can, get her one for £1 and play the games I haven't played yet. And if I want to do that, it's $7.99 for a month for the Ultimate Game Pass. And he's like, and I can play all the Xbox games on my phone, and I don't even need to buy an Xbox One X, because all the games I'd want to play are the first party ones that Microsoft go, hey, every first party game is going to come on this Game Pass from day one. Like, I've got my PS5 to play all the third party games, which will play them better. And I was like, you know what, that's a very good point. And it's like, I wonder how much they are. Oh, 80 quid. That's a lot of money for a fucking bit of plastic that goes on the side of your phone. He's like, but he's like, if you want to play Game Pass, that's the way to do it. It's like, yeah, but I've got this beautiful thing called a laptop, and since I don't really go anywhere, and when I do go anywhere, I drive. I'm like, I might as well just buy the Game Pass from the laptop and just download and play the games on the laptop instead.
Fair enough.
Like, that makes sense to me, but I'm still tempted. If I ever see one on like eBay, or if they have a flash sale on for like 30 quid or something, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, I grab that. But I do like the Evercades, and I'm very intrigued by them.
Yeah, nice looking little machines, and there's that, I can't remember what it's called, but the little handheld with the crank handle on the side.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, which it's like, here's another way to interact with games. Let's just put some other thing on, But I like the handheld are having a bit of an indie resurgence.
Yeah, definitely. It's a shame that it's coming a little bit too late, because now the fact that your phones are so good they can do anything.
Yeah, it's having the buttons,
Switch,
isn't it? So,
is...
but you're right. But I never really thought about like, oh, let's just get one of these machines that can add buttons to my phone. I just don't know.
There's so many. I'm like, but like I used to love my Game Boy Advance, and the Vita and the PSP and stuff, like they're all great. And it is one of those. It's like, I got my month trial on the games on the Google Play Store, just because I really want to play KOTOR again. And then playing it, I'm like, yeah, I've cancelled my free trial because it doesn't play very well on the phones. Everyone's like, oh my god, it plays amazing, it's so good. I'm like, I remember the controls being a lot better, like you can move the camera at the same time.
What game was this?
On the phone you can't. KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that, like, it looks beautiful and it plays smooth as anything, but it's just the control scheme is pants on it. But again, I suppose if I need to get a pad for my laptop, and I'll be able to obviously hook that up to the phone as well. Because the likes of, I've got so many games now on the laptop, but I prefer playing with a controller. Like, keyboard and mouse scheme isn't for me, unless it's like WoW or like an RTS. But anything that's like first person shooter or like a racing game or anything like that, a 1,000,000% give me a pad. Like, I much prefer pads. So I need to get like an Xbox pad or something, because you can buy them anywhere, can't you, for like 20 quid or something, and that's the one thing. So I think I'm just going to be like, to everyone for my birthday, can I have some minis, please? I'm just going to buy myself one on, I think. That's my plan anyway.
Fair enough.
Oh, the Kingdom Hearts collection, the entire collection is now on PC.
Wow.
All of it. All in one. That's nice. So, sorry, I was just saying I was like, oh yeah, I haven't checked to see what my free game is this week on Epic Game stuff. With me talking about it.
Oh yeah. Rage 2 and a fun-looking game that will work on my Mac, which is great, called Drifting or Drift Card. I can't remember. Something about car drifting, and it's this cool little sort of minimalist, isometric-looking car driving thing.
Rage 2 actually is free. That's amazing. Rage 2 was awesome. I only managed to play like a snippet of it, but I really enjoyed it. Nice.
Anywho,
what's that purchase for free?
I think we're at that time, Reg, or maybe far past it.
We didn't even get to talk about so much stuff, but next time, catch it next time.
Right, thank you for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for having me, Dan.
Well, we're having each other, Reg.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, toodles.
See you.